Greetings and salutations, everyone. I am, as always, darthdevious, and welcome to part 2 of Fall of Cybertron Bruticus, where we will be looking at Blast Off and Vortex. First off, we'll look at their packaging real quick. Blast Off is the right arm. Here's his tech specs. Here's his bio. Alright, get that out of here. Vortex's turn. He's the left arm. Tech specs. Bio. Alright. Yeah, and here we go with their vehicle modes. Now, Blast Off is a Cybertronian shuttle, and his design harkens back to the G1 episode, The Key to Vector Sigma, where they built the aerial bots out of old Cybertronian shuttles. They had a similar look to this, so I can see where that design came from, which makes sense. And he's not too bad. I mean, you know, he's not as hollow as like Brawl. Yeah, there's his head, but who cares? You can't really see it from the underside. He's got a lot more paint apps. I didn't add too much to him. I added some silver to the intakes here. I added some gray highlights to the tail fins. Not too much else. There's some silver bits in here I did. Like I said, not much. He didn't need a lot. Alright. And here's the other one. Here's Vortex, and he's a Cybertronian helicopter. Blade spins. I added even less paint to him. Just a couple of gray highlights here and there. Just to, you know, pick a few things out. He really didn't need it. He looks good in this red and purple. So, you know, there's that. So, give me a few minutes. I'll get him into robot mode, and we'll take a look at them in their robot modes. Be right. Alrighty, here's Vortex and Blast Off in their robot modes. We'll look at Blast Off first. You can see I added, you know, I did his hands in gray because they were purple and they just did not stick out, and I added some more gray stripes there. Nothing too much else. I mean, you can see on the back here the thrusters that all this is hidden in any of his other modes, but I think they look cool like that. So, yeah. Just some added detail. And his weapons, you know, you can hold them here in his hands, plug them into his arms. His articulation is probably the weirdest, other than Onslaught's, which we'll get to. He has a nice face sculpt, I'll give him that. Again, he's kind of small. Vortex is actually smaller, but compared to Swindle's like the biggest in the set. It's weird. He has no waist. His arms, they're kind of limited because of all the stuff on his shoulders. And the shoulder pads look cool, but they get in the way. And he's got a ball joint at his elbow. He has another joint just above it. So it's kind of weird. He's got a double elbow, but it's just weird. Good bend at his knee. Nothing at his feet. His feet are pretty much solid. So you can't really do much with that. Yeah, so he's pretty cool looking. Vortex and Swindle are probably the two best from the set. I just like what they did with Vortex. You know, he's got this nice... You can use this as a weapon if you want on the side of his arm. He's got good articulation pretty much everywhere. Head's on a nice ball joint. He has a nice head sculpt too. You know, his weapons can be used as a sword, as a gun sword, whatever you want to do. I like this skirting piece here. This is just nice detail. It didn't even have to be added. He's got good knee. Nothing at his feet, but he's got nice stable feet anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, him and Swindle, they're the tops. Really, if you want my opinion on each figure, that's how you're gonna get it. But you're getting these really for the combined mode. I mean, they had to make a lot of engineering sacrifices for the combined mode, and it hurt a few of the figures. Brawl and Onslaught especially. You'll see why I say that with Onslaught in the next video. But yeah, there you go. So, give me a minute. I'll get these guys into their limb modes, and then we'll move on to the final part. Be right back. Alright, now we've got them both in their limb modes, and here is the limb mode that Blastoff creates, which you get some weird jointing for Bruticus. This is the swivel up there, but he only has the dumbbell lifting, barbell lifting arms that so many people hate. It is what it is. There's not much you can do. And the arm to me is just a wee bit long. I mean, they're both the same length, but they're just a little too long when in combined mode. He does get gorilla arms. And here's Vortex's arm mode, and he's got this, you know, karate chopping action hand. You know, you can just, you know, put him straight like that, flip it that way. His articulation for that mode, he gets a slight elbow bend here and a swivel. So it's not too shabby on this side, not as bad as the other side. Like I said, they tried to engineer this to all be, you know, one cohesive robot from 5 different robots. Not the easiest thing to do. Yeah, it's been done better, but I think they did okay. Alright, so real quick, I'll show you my finished version of Bruticus's gun. As you see here, we have Swindle's gun as the base. Here's Brawl's gun here. Blastoff's 2 guns, and then Vortex's 2 sword guns on the bottom. I think that just works better than attaching Onslaught's big gun, because I think Onslaught's big gun belongs on the back of Bruticus. That's where it's supposed to be. And this can go into the hand like that, and you get a nice gun. See? Not too shabby. Alrighty. That's it for this part. The next part, we'll look at Onslaught, and then we'll look at the big guy himself, Bruticus. So join me for that, and I'll see you next time.